Hey everybody, this is Yankee Show. We're going to start here in just a little bit. I'm going to give you a little time to share because I need time to share. Get this out, get some people in here. We're just going to hang out for a little while, talk about anything you want. This is a random morning show style, podcast style show, and we're going to try it on YouTube. We do it on Facebook, have been for a couple weeks, but I'm going to try out YouTube because I keep getting told that if I would just give YouTube a fair chance, I would like it better than Facebook. So we're going to find out. We're going to give it a fair shake. I just got done watching Bernie speak. I love watching Bernie speak. That's one of my favorite things to do here lately. I just find it inspiring. He was in Oklahoma. They were talking there. But we're going to hang out, talk about anything you guys want. I got some stuff written down to get into, and we'll get into anything you want in the discussion. Just comment and let me know what you want to talk about. So I shared it a couple times. We'll get started. We'll just start talking. Um, there is a lot of stuff going on in the media. The fake polls. I'm just going to start with that because I can't believe anybody's paying any attention to them. The news media has done, if they've done anything, they've shown you that you cannot listen to anything that they say to you. I mean, at best, they're entertainment. They're not news. They don't resemble anything, news or informative. They're not helpful. They're not adding to anything. They might be something to do, something to watch. If you like listening to paid opinions and actors giving you a narrative that's pre-approved, but there's no such thing as news media unless you seek out your own truth. If you look for independent media like this, that's the only way to get actual truth and to not be exposed to stuff like these fake polls. But I don't know why anybody pays any attention to these. Didn't the media show you in 2016 that they will manipulate polls to turn out and to have any result they want? They don't care about telling the truth. There's no lie too big for the media. The media it was taken over by the CIA in the 50s during Operation Mockingbird. That's public knowledge. Anybody can look that up. And their express purpose was to make sure that everything the American people believed was a lie. And over time, they've gotten the media to that point. And everything that's coming out of that flickering box in your living room is a lie. And you can't listen to anything, you can't pay any attention to it. But please like and share and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we are really close. We are coming up on 1,000. We are at 870, I think, the last I checked, 871 maybe. But subscribe to the channel and click the little bell to get notified when we do live videos. I'm going to do more live content on the channel. And also, let me know what kind of content you guys would like. I'm going to come up with some new shows. This is one of them. So this is just going to be a current events type show where we talk about news and things like that. And I talk about my life and we hang out and, work off the comment section. I eventually, at one point down the road, want to be able to take callers and do things like that. I want this to be a really cool interactive type of thing where we play games and all kinds of things, like a morning show, like a Howard Stern type of thing. But right now I'm going to talk about, let's see, we'll start with this. Miley Cyrus and her girlfriend already broke up. They apparently Miley, after Liam, wasn't it Liam Hemsworth? Isn't that the brother she was dating or engaged to forever? They broke up, and I guess she got a girlfriend, and they've been together for a month, but they broke up already. That's not the interesting part of the story to me. The interesting part of the story is I saw Miley Cyrus in an interview recently. I don't remember where, but she said that she smokes more marijuana than anybody. And I have to tell Miley to go ahead and sit down because she is half of Snoop's age and a third of Willie Nelson's. I seriously doubt that she has outsmoked Snoop or Willie. It's far reaching to say that you've smoked more marijuana than anybody. I don't doubt that you smoke a lot, but I do too. And I wouldn't compare myself to Willie or Snoop. I'm not in that league, or Tommy Chong for that matter. There are a lot of people that you probably could not outsmoke, and you should sit down on that one. But that's sad about her and her girlfriend breaking up. I'm sad to hear that. But another thing I wrote down to get into, and this is something that I've covered before, but I wanted to talk about it if you guys are interested. The Denver International Airport. I want to do another video on that, but I'm going to wait until I can actually go. I want to go there and I want to actually be able to get some good footage of the murals, and I want to look at as much as I can and expose it in the video and do a really in-depth Denver International Airport video. But that is fascinating, and that would be on the Conspiracy Theory and Chill show. That's on Wednesday nights, and I will now be uploading all of those here to YouTube. I hub all of my shows, do the live versions anyway on Facebook until I get a better computer. We're raising money in a fundraiser right now to get a better computer. And there's other ways to support the show. The links are in the description on Patreon and PayPal, and please do. I would really appreciate that because I want to build this into a network and have a bunch of shows. But that's something coming up is another interview on or another in-depth video on the Denver International Airport. I've covered it before, and you can check that video out on the channel. It's just check out in our videos. Another video that's recent that we just did is I just did a new 9/11 documentary, a mini documentary. It's not very long, probably less than 30 minutes. I don't remember exactly how long it is, but I go into what I think are the three keys of the 9/11 event. I don't even focus much on building 1 and 2. I show that, but I focus more on the Pentagon, the Shanksville crash site, and building 7. Those are the things that I think are the big keys to 9/11 and 9/11 truth and exposing 9/11. They are the biggest holes in the event. Now, the towers falling and crumbling, that is visually the most powerful image. That's just overwhelming visually to look at. But you cannot explain things like Building 7. You can't explain the plane disappearing in Shanksville, and you can't explain the Pentagon strike, anything about the Pentagon strike. So I focus on those three things in the video, and check that out. That's a recent video on the channel. But coming up also on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we're going to do a video on Lucius Trust. Now, I just found out about Lucius Trust, and I honestly am a little ashamed because I can't believe I didn't know about this. They hub out of the United Nations building. Their address is 666 United Nations Plaza. It's crazy. Kathy says, hey, Kathy. Kathy says building 7 for sure. They had lots of things to hide in there. Overwhelming amounts of stuff. The amount of offices that were hubbed in building 7, they were investigating Enron. They were investigating all kinds of things in that building. And lots of things were hidden. Lots of money was made on 9/11. There was a lot that happened on that day. And the truth of it has yet to be exposed. So I made that new video as a way to help because I wanted to add, something to the truth movement. I've seen a lot of 9/11 videos and I wanted to do something and approach it from a different angle. So I decided to do the 3 keys that I think are the keys to the truth of 9/11, to unraveling the truth. The things they can't explain. And you have so many unexplained things on one event, one day. At a certain point, it gets to be a little ridiculous, doesn't it? You can't have that many coincidences. That doesn't make any sense. It's beyond logic. It's, you know. And then there's Kathy was here the other day. You were late here later on. You had commented. I mentioned a new Mandela that has to do with 9/11. And if I get more responses and interest in this, I'm going to do a whole new Mandela video around this Mandela because this shocks me. I am big into 9/11. I've been researching 9/11 for 18 years. I've looked into every angle of it, and I thought for sure that the wing of the Pentagon that was hit by the airplane was unoccupied because they were remodeling that area. They were enforcing the structure and all of that stuff in that wing. So it was unoccupied, and there weren't any that many casualties inside the actual Pentagon itself, not from the plane, but inside the actual Pentagon. Well, now they are saying that there was 125 casualties inside the Pentagon, not just on the plane, inside the Pentagon, 125 casualties. I don't remember it being like that. I remember there being very minimal to none inside the Pentagon, and the only casualties from the Pentagon strike being the passengers on the plane. Let me know what you remember. Do you remember that wing of the Pentagon being unoccupied and very few to minimal casualties in that wing? Or do you remember over 100 people being killed in that wing of the Pentagon during the Pentagon strike? Let me know, because to me it's a big Mandela. To me it's a big change. I find it shocking. I remember that wing being unoccupied because they were reinforcing the structure. They were reinforcing that whole side and doing all kinds of construction in there. So I thought for sure that that part was unoccupied. Let me know though what you think of that one, because like I said, I'll do a whole new Mandela video around that, and I'll find 10 or 12 more Mandelas and put together a new Mandela video, because those seem to do really well. You guys seem to like the Mandelas, and I like to do things that you like, and I like the Mandelas. I think that the Mandela effect is fascinating. My wife thinks that we're crazy and that we're just misremembering everything. She doesn't um, get any of the Mandelas. She doesn't have any of the Mandela effect. She remembers everything the way history says it's always been. So she just thinks I'm crazy, but I think there's something to this. Millions of people having the same mismemories, that at least is a interesting phenomenon. So I like exploring the Mandelas, and I will do another video if you guys think that one is one, because that's a new one to me. I haven't seen anybody report that as a Mandela, and that is new to me. Kathy says, no, I don't remember reports of multiple deaths there. I don't either, especially nowhere in the hundreds. 125 deaths inside the building. I don't remember that. I actually remember them reporting that it was lucky that that part was under construction because there was minimal deaths in there. But so maybe I will do that, a new video around that Mandela, because that is new to me. Hey, Babels, how you do? You do okay? But check out the new 9/11 video on the channel. It's one of the more recent videos in the video list, and it's in the Conspiracy Theory and Chill playlist. But that's a new one. What do you guys think of the climate strikes that just went on? All the people showing up. Kathy says hello to the wife, but we are not crazy. No, we're not. The Mandelas, there's something to this. I really believe there is. This is there's another one that still bothers me. I've concluded this in a video before, but ET phone home. That's not what he says. He says ET home phone. That bugs me. That bugs me almost as bad as the missing dash in Kit Kat. I know for a fact that Kit Kat had a dash in it, but we've done like 3 or 4 Mandela videos, like actual Mandela videos, and then I've done a bunch of other live feeds and stuff on Mandela on the channel, and it's always real popular. You know, people like the Mandelas, and I do too. I actually think it probably has something to do with the research being conducted at CERN. You know, I think they're messing with reality. But I think they've been playing with reality for a long time. I don't think that's anything new. You know, this isn't exactly the conspiracy theory show, but it's kind of turned into an episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill. We can talk about anything at all on this one. This is a random, just hanging out type of show. And like I said, this is new doing it on YouTube. We usually do it on Facebook, but I like YouTube. It has different elements and it seems to run smoother. And I've noticed before that the audio is usually better. So there's pluses to YouTube. And if I give it a chance, you know, and build an audience over here, then it'll probably be good, you know, and that's what I've been told. I've been told that if I would give it a chance that I would like it on YouTube. So we're going to. But let me know, what do you think about the turnouts for the climate strike? I gotta say, I think it's great. You know, there was these huge turnouts, millions of people flooding the streets like you never seen before, all across the world for this climate strike. And like I said, that's great. You know, because that's the kind of stuff that needs to happen. That's how change takes place. That's the only thing that's going to make change happen is millions of people taking to the streets and coming together and standing united. So it's awesome. But isn't it suspicious? I hate to say that. I hate to be the one to rain on the parade, but it's a little bit suspicious that how quickly it got organized for me. The media is orchestrated. Its own regular TV is completely controlled. So how did this get so big so fast? How did this go over so well? Isn't this odd? This seems a little odd to me. I hate to say that. But Kathy says it is wonderful, but I question when too much organization is involved. And it just went over so well, so quickly. Like I was watching another friend of mine do a live feed last night and he was discussing it and he was like, "Did you get an invite? I didn't get an invite. How'd this get together so quick? How'd they get millions of people to flood the streets like that?" It's weird. It definitely raises red flags for me. And then, you know, another thing that I hate to admit, and I just might as well get it over with while we're on the subject, that raises red flags for me is the amount of publicity and the support behind Greta Thunberg, the little girl that is doing this climate strike. And again, I hate this. I hate that I have to be suspicious. But it's weird. It always is whenever they give a lot of attention to something. And even Obama's meeting with this little girl, they're giving her meetings to Congress and world leaders. And, you know, that's fantastic. But I'm a student of history. And they use children to sell narratives to people. They have before in history, and they do this. You know, do you remember when they were trying to sell the Iraq War and they were using the little girls saying that they were taking the babies out of the cribs, the babies out of the incubators, and killing these babies? That was all fake. That wasn't real. But they got that little girl to say that and to cry on TV to get everybody excited and ready to go to war. I mean, you even had the president mentioning that little girl. And that's not the first time or the last. You know, Hitler used children big time in his propaganda. And a lot of our propagandists in this country took their lessons from Goebbels, Hitler's propagandist. You know, they repeated that here in the United States on us. You know, the CIA and NASA and a lot of organizations were formed during Operation Paperclip when we brought over all the Nazi scientists and put them to work here in this country, continuing their work that they were doing under Hitler. You know, that's something that people don't like to talk about and they don't like to realize. But, you know, organizations like NASA and the CIA have deceptive roots. Kathy says, I question where the money is coming from for her travels, and Greta has been everywhere, literally everywhere, and everyone is giving her an audience. World leaders around the globe are giving her an audience. And what'd you say? She was either the daughter of the PM or whoever runs that country. I don't know about that. I would have to look into that. But it is very suspicious. And again, I hate that it is, but we live in the age of deceit. Everything is a lie, and you have to question everything, unfortunately. It sucks, but that's the way of it. That's just the mess we find ourselves in. You have to dig for the truth. You have to find the truth. And whenever you're presented something, you need to question it. Even things that look like they are in our benefit, question them. And I'm sorry I'm smoking. I know that's unprofessional. I've been trying not to smoke on live feeds, but they're nerve-wracking. Live is nerve-wracking. When I'm doing it pre-recorded, I was able to not smoke. You know, I was able to resist because I could edit. I could edit out the cigarettes. I could stop. I could pause. I could smoke a cigarette. But I get too nervous. I get stage fright doing this. It's just me in a room. I don't know why, but I get stage fright doing it. Kathy says, the girl who talked about those babies being killed, I'm talking about there. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was. She was the daughter of, you're right. I don't remember who, but somebody high up in the government. Yeah. And that was ridiculous. And, that was just one example that I'm pointing to, but they use children a lot. And I'm glad she's getting exposure, and I'm glad the message is getting out there, and it's always good. There's no such thing as bad publicity, but you know, it's suspicious. And then she calls people out, and then she doesn't call certain other people out. Like she just met with Obama and she didn't call him out, but she'll make stands and call out members of parliament and stuff like that. Kathy says she's smoking too. Relax. Good. But this Area 51 raid, what'd you think of this? The turnout. There was what, like 1,500 people that turned out to the Area 51 raid, and they say only 75 gathered at the gates. Not one monstered up Kyle rushed the gates. Nobody. Which I'm glad of because they would have killed them. That I was teasing as we were approaching the event, calling it the Area 51 massacre, but that's what it would have been had those people rushed the gate. They're not going to mess around. Not that I think there's aliens there. I don't think there's aliens at Area 51. I think that anything like that would be hidden and buried under a mountain in an underground base that you've never heard of. It's not going to be any place that you've heard of. What they do at Area 51 is they test top secret weaponry and aircraft and things like that. They're not going to allow people in there. You can't even get in that airspace. Kathy says 75 last I heard. Yeah, at the gate. 75 gathered at the gate. But nobody rushed or ran through or tried to climb the fence or anything crazy. But yeah, dangerous for those people. Sure, those 75, even to stand at the gate. They tell you not to do that. They tell you not to even approach that stuff, that area. I've been to Vegas before, and they'll tell you, and the cabbies and stuff will tell you, stay away from there. You know, it's not a friendly place. They don't want people there. They are hiding things. It's not aliens. That's not what they're hiding, but they are hiding things for sure. But I'm glad people didn't get crazy and rush the gate because like I said, it would have been ugly. It would have been horrible had people done that. But Kathy, what do you want to talk about? We can get into anything you want. I'm about out of notes. Like I said, I was watching Bernie tonight. Did you see that in Oklahoma? Had a really good crowd. It was a really good rally. It sounds like his voice is going out again, though. He is really beating up his voice, but he is campaigning his butt off, man. We couldn't ask for a better candidate. He is working really hard for the revolution, and all we got to do is our part, and we're going to win this. This isn't a political show, but I get excited when I watch Bernie speak. He inspires me, and that's what I believe in. I'm not political. I believe in the movement Bernie's putting together. That's what I'm behind. And but what do you want to talk about, Kathy? Anything at all? The last thing I've got. Oh, coming up on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, I am going to have Clinton Gordon back on, and we are going to talk about mandatory vaccines. Clinton is an activist for against mandatory vaccinations, and he knows a lot more about it than I do. And we're going to have an interview where I'm going to interview Clinton about that. Now, I don't know how you feel about vaccines. I feel about where Robert F. Kennedy Jr. lands. Yeah, I believe they're dangerously unregulated. I believe there needs to be regulation, and that the industry has gotten out of hand. And I do question a lot of the ingredients in these vaccines and things like that. But we'll get into more in depth into that when we interview Clinton coming up on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. And that's just a few things coming up on that show. So Lucius Trust, the interview with Clinton, and then we do Yankee Show every week. And I do the Daily Burn every day, but I was uploading that to YouTube and I noticed my subscribers started leaving in droves. But now that I'm talking to my YouTube audience, Do you want that show uploaded on the channel? Because I will upload it for you if people are interested in watching it. But I noticed it was only getting like 10, 12 views a week or an episode. And, you know, so I don't know. I don't know if people were digging it or not on YouTube. But I lost probably 30 subscribers from uploading it. People mad at me for the show. Let's see. Kathy says just watched him with the Cherokee Indians. I missed that. Tag me in that. I didn't see that, but he's been doing event after event after event after event, and they're going everywhere. Like I said, you couldn't ask for a better candidate, And if you're not in this movement, I have to ask you why. I'd love to talk to you about it because we're going to change the government. We're going to change the way things are. We're going to change society for the better into something that works for the people. It's beautiful what's happening. I mean, I know I have to be a part of it. I have to do everything I can. But I do have one more thing in my notes that we can get into, but I may as well have called this conspiracy theories and chill if we do, because it has to do with conspiracies too. But people were talking about it today and climate change and whether you think that that has to do with weather engineering. This geoengineering, they actually do tamper with the weather. That's real. I can share some really good videos with you and some really good research exposing that. But they do tamper with the weather. They do try to steer hurricanes. They have since the 70s. They seed the clouds. They have since the 70s. They used to be more open with this. A good video from True Stream Media exposed this, and in the 70s they were reported on the media that they could steer hurricanes. There was a particular scientist, I don't know his name right now, but he was famous for being rather arrogant about his ability to steer and guide storms. So, you know, I wonder sometimes because I don't trust the government. And I don't believe every conspiracy theory that I talk about on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, or even every conspiracy theory that I entertain or bring up. But I am open to them. I'm not closed off. And I don't think that these things are outside of the realm of possibility of what our government is capable of. If you look at some of the things that they've been exposed for before, like MK Ultra, for example, that was horrific experiments on real people, and that happened. And you got to remember that what you were told is probably only a fraction of what actually took place. Think about what was redacted and what was kept from you. But Kathy says, I'm an RN. I do not like them, not regulated. No, they haven't been regulated since the 80s. Vaccines are dangerously unregulated. And like I said, Clinton's going to be on to talk more in depth about that. And I'm really excited about that. That's going to be happening coming up. So there's a lot coming up. And I want to turn this into a hub. The YouTube channel is going to be the hub of everything that I do moving forward. I'm giving myself a year to turn this into my job, to do this professionally. So that's my goal. And, hopefully if you're digging these shows and you want to help with that, you will. You'll do everything you can and share the shows and maybe become a supporter on Patreon and or PayPal and help us get things like a new computer. We're raising money for a new computer right now, or, you know, better lighting, things like that. But we're going to improve and make improvements moving forward, and things will get better. I want us to look like, I don't know if you're familiar with this show, but Tim Black. That's my goal, is to look fancy, like I have an actual set, and to get a computer that can do those kind of things, and to make more shows and more content for you guys. So let me know the things you want to see and any videos you would like to see made, because I want to make things for you. And this channel is supposed to be a little bit of everything. That's why I called it Me on Things and Stuff. But like I said, I've exhausted my notes, and if there's anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap up, let me know in the comments. But we've done about a half hour. This is a show that, like I said, I usually do it on Facebook, but I'm trying out YouTube Live. I'm seeing how that works, and I'm trying interacting with my subscribers and people at this channel because, like I said, I want to build this into a network and get other contributors and other people to do shows and run a whole entertainment, hub out of here. So let me know things like shows you'd like to see or things you're interested in moving forward. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been Yankee Show, and we'll do this again next week. I'll probably do one on YouTube and one on Facebook until I figure out how to do Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But thanks for hanging out with me, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the description for that too. We'll see you next time from me on Things and Stuff.